Today, testing out a new deck based on the humans' synergies from many of the new cards from the Eldritch Moon that, for instance, are featuring these guys and the new um, Heron's Grace champion. And I think I got to say that there are too many ways to build up a deck like this because there are too many humans to add in any given color. Even you can almost pick anything that you like to make your deck running around the humans, but I think the strongest one appear in white, and we have in green access to some pump up for humans. So let's see how it goes. A creature based deck, many cheap creatures, so the strategy is quite simple. Play as many creatures as you can and hit the opponent for lots and lots of damage. Here the Alwitch watching on 2 is quite tempting, but I think that an early expedition envoy is acceptable. Let's think. I think that I'm going to delay the Hungry Militia Captain because at any rate the power of these cards shows up when you have multiple creatures to transform this to his other side. That it's a she. You would never know. So here we've got the Hamlet Captain. One would want to have this out as soon as possible, but the always watching is kind of very important, and also we are kind of short on lands here, so let's go with an attack for 2, and I think we can afford to wait a little bit to play our creatures. No, we want another plains, and the opponent running a very heavy deck with more than 80 cards, and he has found enough land for the time being. Here another example of a human creature with white synergy from Iceland. And what now? Let's see. I think that I'm going to go with the always watching anyways. Let's see if the opponent dares to block this one, so we can kind of guess what he's playing. So I think that the opponent has more creatures and little removal spells because he traded his 2-drop for our 1-drop. River Marshal also is able to tap creatures later on. So Blessed Spirits, this is pointing to either Spirit or Enchantment or both decks. So here I think I'm going to play the Hamlet Captain and the Hungry Militia Captain. Too many captains for our taste. They enter the battlefield as 3/3 with Vigilance. Let's see if the opponent has something. In white there's many ways to deal with the enchantment and also kill the creatures, but here he plays a Knight of the White Orchid, he fetches a Plains, now he has 2, and he has a Militia Captain of his own that later on we might kill using Blessed Alliance. Let's see what we draw here. Oh, another planes. So let's see how the opponent decides to block our attack. He might attempt to take down one of our creatures with a double block. Let's see if that's the case. So he does not. I'm going to save our flash creature for later. You never know. The opponent might have some counter spells. So far only white creatures. So this one has flash, lifelink, and when he enters the battlefield, other humans you control get +1/+1 and gain lifelink until end of turns. So our life total can grow very large thanks to this one. And now the opponent has 5 blockers. Nothing to worry about too much. He attacks with the flyer, but 2 damage is nothing to worry about. So here I think I'm going to play this with flash. Thalia's Lieutenant. Let's try to see how the opponent responds to this. We live up Blessed Alliance. So now we hit the opponent for maybe 8. Let's see if he chooses to block. Maybe 9. Thanks to the effect of the Hamlet Captain. Gideon blocking. He's going to die right away. So the opponent maybe was trying to make this one indestructible, but is all tapped out. So the opponent is thinking what to do. Alright, we are very close to deal little damage to the opponent if we can get through the defense. Probably he's going to attack with the flyers. If he has an enchantment to the Skyhunter Skirmisher, it's going to hurt. For 4 mana there is the powerful Angelic, I don't know the name, enchantment that gives +4/+4 and lifelink and whatnot to the creature. But in a deck of this size, it's kind of unlikely that the opponent finds the cards he wants so easily. So no plays from the opponent. It's going to spawn another creature here. Tarless Tracker, but we have no lands to trigger the landfall and get some clues. So I think the best bet here is to attack with everything. This forces the opponent to block. Gideon is going to be able to become indestructible. The Wyvern, giving +1/+1 to the flyers. Let's see how the opponent is going to declare the blockers. So we are going to lose something if we don't play this. Now this is gone, but we get rid of 3 creatures of the opponent, and we gain ton of life in the process. Well, we got rid also of the hunger because he had assigned damage and his power is equal to the number of creatures, and once we kill 3 of the creatures it grows weaker. So another line of defenders, but we are now sitting at 32 life, and we would like to have another a land. This is the perfect land for the Tireless Tracker. So there we go. Let's go with another trigger. I think a forest is not bad. Now we have 2 clues with us, and once we attack with this becomes a 5/5. The opponent could kill our life linker, but not both of our creatures without losing all his board. So let's go ahead with these 2. So probably he's going to just block with his little guys. You can double here, triple here, or vice versa. This one is going to pump up the herons. I know this. I was mistaken. This is the other one. This does not pump up. I was mixing the Hamlet Captain with the Thalia's Lieutenant. Rank error from my part. I think the opponent is thinking what to do. He's offering his Wyvern, so let's take him. And here, let's get Gideon and the token last. Alright. Just in case the opponent has something. Alright. Pretty sweet spot for us. The worst case scenario is a reprisal against the Tracker, but we have clues. We can fetch more cards with this. Let's find what is at the top of our library and put a counter on our Tireless Tracker, and now we win thanks to the Rogue's Passage that I didn't even remember having with me. So there we go. Our opponent has conceded. Let's just see what was in store for us in the next card. It was an Albenwald Mysteries. So there we go. A little bit of overkill. Now let's proceed with our next challenge. Now here, creatures against creatures. Our combat tricks kind of turn at the table to our favor, and of course the always watching, very nasty enchantment if you cannot remove it. All our creatures get larger than normal just by being there. Of course, that only applies to non-token creatures, so if you're planning to play a token deck, the Always Watching is not going to shine. So here, I think that we have a turn 1 play, but otherwise we are missing too many lands. So let's go this one much better. We can get the recruiter, but it's not going to flip, I guess, so easily. Mm, So maybe we should start with the veteran Qatar. Who knows? Target Tracker should wait until we can play a land next to him. So let's hope we get some lands soon. Collective effort. So our opponent is on red and white, and apparently he's going to be playing humans too. Thalia's Lieutenant, growing whenever another human is played. So let's go with our Dustwatch Recruiter, but I do not expect him to flip our. The only way that could happen if the opponent does not play any spell now. And if he kills this, I'm not too sad about it. It's going to require him to spend some card to remove the Dustwatch Recruiter. And if he flips, well, that's just huge. But the most fearsome combo between Hungry Garrison and Thales Lieutenant. So I think the best thing to do here is just to wait for the attack of the Hungry Garrison and play the Heron's Grace champion that is going to have a discount, and we might get to kill this one, but this is going to get pumped to 4 or even more if the opponent plays something for combat. So we have life gain, but this duo here is kind of too synergistic. Stop timer! No, come on, game. We have to play this one before Thalia's stupid game. Come on. Okay, this one should not be tapped down. So, at least we're dealing with this. So there we go. Come on, game. That was on purpose. Our opponent has access to the programmers, so we can destroy target creature with power 4 or greater. But Thalia is not at the moment that big, so she has first strike. Human gains double strike, and I think I'm going to go for the Tireless Tracker. Evolving Wilds and the Veteran Qatar. And skip the attack, of course. We're going to get a big hit here. The only thing is that we might need to use this one as blocker to gain some life and prevent damage. But on the other hand, collective effort is going to be good against Talos Lieutenant. If we had another option is to save for the Blessed Alliance to untap two of our creatures and deal with one of these, but first we have to be able to overcome the first strike. Alright, this should be held back. Not sure what the opponent was trying in there. So, planes, kind of good. Another clue token. And let's go with Golden Wild. Another course of action is to activate the Veteran Qatar when blocking, but I think it's too risky for us, so let's go with this collective effort. Destroy target creature and place counters on our creatures. Destroy this. Yeah. We have to tap something here, and it's going to be the recruiter, I guess. Or I think that the tracker is a better option. Now, still not a good idea to attack into Yora's champion. On the other hand, we can gain 4 life with this and trade with champion, and then Blessed Alliance could kill Thalia. I think I'm going to attack anyways with this. Let's see if the opponent wants to trade or he doesn't. We are 1 mana short to kill Thalia on the attack, but let's see how this fares. So we are back at 11, but this one is quite dangerous if the opponent can make this one gain flying or something worse. Lifelink, thanks to by the hand of the Lantern Scout. So here 3, this is 7, and then the opponent gains 7. So we could kill this one. I think it's not a bad idea here. We are at 8, but we are slowly gaining control from the board, and then I think, well, I think having another creature is going to be good. Let's first attack with this one and Tireless Tracker 2. Let's see if the opponent gets caught in the trap of the Tireless Tracker. Apparently he does not. So let's go with a draw. A land would be nice, but we can do it. Oh, I was always watching. Alright, but let's see. Make a stand. Blessed Alliance for 2. So let's continue. Let's see what the opponent decides to do. We can sacrifice a clue. We can just take the damage and wait to play the always watching too, but uh, this is Talia is kind of bothersome. Now we are winning only, the only reason is the opponent appears to be stacked on 3. I think that's the, the point of advantage for us. Now let's see what he does. Let's continue. So blocker. Alright, I'm going to block with this one. Let's see if the opponent has something there. Apparently not. No, I want to cast this. Target opponent, sacrifice an attacking creature, and finish. There you go. Maybe I should have not blocked it with this, but let's see. The correct blade, I think, could have been to untap these 2 to gain more life with the Heron's Grace command, but let's see what the opponent has. Now, this one, another human in red that has first strike and renown, but is only 2/2, and our creatures are about to receive a huge pump up spell. We are going to just continue. The opponent has conceded, and we play the always watching, and the opponent is about to die here in a few turns. Of course, he's going to have to block these 2. So he decides to send these guys to die, but the Tireless Tracker is too powerful for them. So this is the worst case scenario for the opponent, but of course at this point it was artificial intelligence. We have the Lone Rider. That is a nice Eldritch Moon card. I kind of like this one, but I'm finding that it's the target of all the exile spell from the opponent. So this one can make another human a bit, or human or any attacking creature a little bit more powerful. And here comes Kivion, but no point in delaying this anymore. Let's go with the final attack. The opponent is going to gain 1, and we deal plenty with our other creatures. So the green-white humans defeated the red-white humans with mana issues. I'm not sure why the opponent was so stacked on 3. So sometimes the deck is too greedy and runs less lands than it needs. So let's see. Sometimes the mulligans are bad, or sometimes just the draws are horrible. It happens to all of us. Let's load another final contrincant against the humans, but I think this is going to be about blue spells plus something in green. Let's see. The opponent plays first, but we had the Daswatch Recruiter to search for more cards from the library, so I'm going to keep. Turn 2 Daswatch Recruiter, maybe depending on our draws, maybe we want to transform this one, depending also on what the opponent is doing. So let's go. Let's find a forest for us, but not not need to rush. Of course, the game is kind of picky. Sometimes it doesn't let you. So far, double white and a renowned creature. Consul's lieutenant. First strike renowned, and he buffs all other creatures when he attacks. Lucky for us, we have one of these of our own sometime soon. Now let's go with the recruiter and let's hope this can transform, but I don't mind too much about it. So Sunstone Bridge, no, even more powerful. Let's keep blocking. Let's see if the opponent has a 1 or 2 drops here. So this guy gets a +1/+1 counter from the renowned, and it has another renowned creature. So kind of a dire situation here. So I could activate the switch recruiter and pass the turn, but I cannot make a stand. Make a stand could potentially kill either one of these. So, but I don't know if the opponent is going to attack if we keep our mana open. One can never know. So this one is going to transform. ¿Qué pasó? Ajá. Let's see. The opponent has to choose what he's going to do. Top and free blade grows larger, and now he's going to swing with both of them. This is kind of dangerous, but let's see what happens if I block this one. Apparently nothing so far. Let's make a stand and see how it goes. So we removed one of the attackers using combat tricks, but still are kind of low on total life, and now the Thalia's lieutenant has come to annoy us pretty much, so I think this is about always watching until we draw into something to remove her, or take another 6 and play more creatures. Perhaps this is better. So we can play the War Leader and the Qatar. So, but the Tireless Tracker can bring in some heavy attacking power and blocking for attacks and blocks. So we are losing life points very fast. Let's hope that we can survive to play something more powerful. We're going to be hit for 3. nasty. Let's try to make something powerful here. So a lifelink spell would be good. Hamlet. Okay, let's go Windy, always watching. And I think we are not yet safe. Let's get another forest because we have more green spells in hand. But the opponent has the upper hand here just because of Thalia. It's kind of powerful. The always watching is going to be very helpful, but here another attack. This one is the neglected heirloom. So we are going to lose our board here. So not too fancy of this, but maybe we draw something that can save us. We have the clues here, but other than that, this is quite painful, and we cannot even kill Thalia, or maybe we should double block Thalia, but we lose. So kind of forced to do these blocks to save our life total and try to recover some board presence. I mean, biggest issue here is that we cannot play blockers, so that's it. Let's see what would have been our next card. And another land that enters tapped. So this is it. Italia has defeated us. She was on the wrong side of the match. But well, this shows the power of this one. I think the impact of this card alone is way too heavy. I don't know if I had another best course of action, perhaps saving some creatures from before. But we lost fair and square. And now. So another defeat, but at any rate, at the end of the match, it was the humans that succeeded. The humans won, so we should not be sad about that. Let's open another booster pack to finish this video. And what is in the sixth card? It is first the Waxing Moon to transform up to one target werewolf you control. This is a very powerful card, kind of situational, but can save you a lot of mana. Another Eldritch Evolution, one of the most useful cards in a creature deck that lets you search your library for a creature, and even you have a discount in the form of sacrificing another creature and make mischief. Another Crossroads Consecrator, Mercurial Gates, a very extraordinarily powerful attacker. Score the laboratory. I think that this is the only blue card with Irium I've seen here. So you draw 3. You can get to pay up to 4 for this spell. So kind of nice. So that's it for today. I hope you have liked this video, and don't forget to leave your comments, and see you next time.